Hi everyone, welcome to TechPro YouTube channel. Are you a window administrator looking to expand your skills into the world of Linux? You've come to the right place. Today we are bridging the gap between Windows and Linux administration with the top 10 Linux commands every Windows admin should know. Let's dive in. Linux and Windows are two words that often seem apart. But in today's hybrid IT environment, bridging this gap is crucial. Welcome to Top 10 Linux Commands for Windows Admins, where we help you transition smoothly into Linux administration. In this session, we will cover key learning objectives to transform your Linux command line experience into an invaluable skill set for cross-platform administration. First, we will dive into why Linux commands matter for Windows administrators. Whether you're managing a hybrid infrastructure or stepping into a cloud environment, knowing Linux commands gives you a competitive edge. Next, we will explore the top 10 commands every Windows administrator needs to know. Each command will be matched with its Windows equivalent to make your learning curve seamless. We will also walk through practical examples from listing directory contents to monitoring system performance. You will learn how to perform cross-platform tasks with confidence. Finally, we aim to boost your confidence. With these commands and practical insights, you will master common Linux administrative tasks without second guessing. Now that you know what to expect, let us get started on this exciting journey to master Linux commands with your administrative skills. Why should Windows admins learn Linux commands? Great question. Linux powers most servers worldwide. It's versatile, cost-effective, and essential in hybrid environment. Forget the career boosts. Linux admins earn an average of £57,000 UK. If you're a window administrator looking to level up your career in today's world, Linux is no longer an option. It is essential. Why is Linux so important? The IT world is increasingly multi-platform. Companies now rely on both Windows and Linux to power their operations, especially on hybrid cloud environment. Linux dominates the cloud with over 90% of servers worldwide running Linux. It is stable in enterprise environment, making it a must-know for anyone managing modern IT infrastructures. Expanding your skill sets to include Linux doesn't just boost your salary. It supercharges your career. Cross-platform expertise is highly valued, opening doors to roles like DevOps, engineer, cloud specialist, and more. The future of IT is multi-platform. By mastering Linux, you are not just keeping up, you are staying ahead. So, what are you waiting for? Start learning today. Is ls, which is the Linux equivalent of the Windows dir command. It lists directory content. You can see it as shown on the screen, the commands and the description. I'm currently using the macOS, which I'm going to use to run the command. So open your command line interface. Then let's run this command ls-l. This command gives you details file info like permissions and size, as you can see on the screen. So we also have ls-a. This command shows hidden files. As you can see on the screen, we have the files on our desktop directory, and it shows all the files on our desktop directory. So we also have this and which is used to show everything in the log directory, complete with details. To show everything in the log directory, with its complete details. Run the command on the screen to display everything, as you can see. Next is cd, which works just like the Windows cd command. It is all about moving between directories. Here are some examples. You can see the examples are shown on the screen. Now let's run the following command. This command takes you to the log directory, as you can see on the screen. To move up one level, you run cd dot dot, then it's moved one level. So now let's run another command that will take you to your home directory. To copy files and directory, use the cp command. Think of it as Linux version of the Windows copy command. Now let's run some sample commands on how to copy text file to backup directory. So let's check the directory in which we are currently. Okay, let's move to the desktop directory. Let's check the list of files. Okay, now let's create a file named file.txt. Now let us copy this file into the backup directory. So cp file text copy. Okay, we've copied it into the backup directory. Here is to recursively copy the data directory. So now let's check if the data directory exists in the desktop directory. So you use the following command to create the data directory. Okay, so now after creating the directory, let's list what we have again. So now you can see we have the data directory here. Okay, the next thing to do is to copy. Yes, let's copy recursively. Okay, data to backup. Right, now get it into the backup directory and see what we have in there. Let's list what we have. Now you can see we've copied the data directory in there. You can see the text file that we copied earlier. So what we do next is to prompt before overwriting file. So now to do that, we run the following command to prompt before overwriting file. You run the following command to copy file text by using a prompt. Then you can see it said overwrite backup text, which I'll say yes using the abbreviation Y, which done successfully. So now display verbose output. How do we do that? We use the following command. It's display the way it happens. Let's add -v for a detailed output of what is happening. So you can see text file being copied into the backup. You can see that we have the text file in the backup directory. So to move or rename files, that is where mv shines. It's like Windows move or rename commands. So the purpose of this is to move or rename files or directory, right? So equivalent to the move or rename so now let's run these commands. You can see the commands and the description. So now we're going to rename a file. So to do that, let's list out the files we have on the desktop. Let's create a file first with the following command. Call it old name. Let's name it old name, right? Okay, let's list to see if it's there. Okay, it's now among the files we have here. Now let's rename the file with the following command. We rename from old name to new name. So to do that, use the following command: old name .txt to new name. So yes, now let's list what we have. You can see we successfully rename from old name to new name. And to rename your file, that is just how to do it. So the next thing is to move a file to a directory. So we've successfully done that. So now let's cd into the backup directory to see if the new name file is there. So now let's list what we have. Okay, you can see we have the new name file. Let's list the text file we have in our desktop. We have just one text file. It's two by creating another text file. We can name it anything. We can name it 5.text 2 files. So now let's move these 2 files inside the backup directory. You can get that done with the following command using mv asterisk text backup. Okay, now let's cd into the backup directory. Then let's list what we have. Also, likewise, we have the text file. Likewise, we have copied successfully into the backup directory. Of caution, RM deletes files and directory permanently, unlike the Windows recycle bin. Now, let us remove the new file text. So to do that, we are going to run the following command rm for remove. Then we call in the new file. Then we successfully remove the new file text. Let's list what we have in our backup directory again. When you check the backup directory again, you see that the new file text is no longer there. So next thing you can do is to recursively delete a directory. We currently have the tmp directory inside the backup directory, and likewise we have the data directory inside the backup directory. So let's delete the tmp directory from the backup directory. So to do that, we use the following command. So we have tmp. So let's list what we have in the backup directory again. We shouldn't find the tmp directory. So list. So you can see we successfully removed the tmp directory from the backup directory. So the next thing we can do is you can also prompt before deletion. So to do that, we run the following command. Let's say we want to delete the file 5 text. So now let's do that by running the following command to prompt. Okay, file 5 text. It asked the question, remove file 5 text, which I'm going to say yes. Now let's list what we have again. We shouldn't find it there in our directory. Yes, awesome. So the next command we can run is to force deletion without prompts. To do this, we just run the following command rm force. Let's force to delete name text file. So now we're going to force delete the new name text file here. So now let's list what we have again. We shouldn't have this on the list any longer. Okay, awesome. Display the verbose output. So to do that, we can run the following command rm verbose. Then let's remove file 3. You can see it's display it here, which is file 3. We've successfully removed that. Now let us list what we have. You can see we only have 2 files and 1 directory left. So directory, use mkdir. We're going to create a directory called project inside the backup directory. Now let's list what we have in the backup directory. Okay, we have it there. We have it created. You can also create parent directory as needed. Take for instance, we can use the following command to do that. Let's say we want to create a parent directory. Let's say we have test folder, right? Test folder, and to create a parent directory, we use
So to create a parent directory, we use the following command to create a parent directory. So now let's just name it as text folder and text one directory. Okay, now let's list what we have in the backup directory. Now you see we have the text folder directory. Now you can see we have the text directory in the backup directory. Now let's cd into the test directory. Test. Now you can see we have the test folder in the backup directory. So now let's cd into the test folder to see if we have the test one directory in there. So let's list what we have. Yeah, we successfully done that. Now let's move back to the backup directory. Okay. So did you need a quick setup? You can combine the mkdir and cd by using the following command. So we can combine this. We can create a new directory. Let's create a new directory and a backup directory, and at the same time move into the directory, right? Cd into the directory. So it's this simple. You can see we are initially in the backup directory. Now after we create a new directory called new directory, we moved inside the directory here. So you can see it here. So
Where you are in the system. The pwd commands tells you your current working directory.
use the pwd command to display the full path of the current directory. You can see this is the full path of the current directory. So print the actual path, resolving symbolic links. Use the following command. You can see there's no much different. You can see that there's no much difference in it. So likewise, you can embed the current path in script. Now let's embed the current path in script. Successfully embed it in the script. Save the current path to a file. Run the following command. So to do that, let's save the current path to path.txt. So we've done that. So if you now ls, you should have that path. You can see it. We have it here, the txt. To successfully save the current path. So the other thing we can do is to save the current path to a file and print it on the terminal. So now let's do that by running the following command. So let's say yes, save the current path again to path tnt and print it to the terminal. You see, we successfully printed what we save in a path text file.
As displayed on the screen, you can see some of these commands and their description. So
To view a file content, we can use the following command cat. Then let's first of all list what we have in this new directory. Okay, we have path file. So now let us use the following command to view what we have path.txt. Okay, so here's the content in this file. So the next thing you can also do is to concatenate multiple files. So to concatenate multiple files, we run the following command. Another extra file. Let's just create file one.txt inside a new directory. Let's also create the file 2. So add -n to number the lines. Take for instance, here's an example. You can see it numbers the line, which is redirect output using the following command. Redirect file to text. So let's really redirect the output. So have the same content that is present in the path file in the file2 file. Let's confirm that. Got path. You see we have this content in this file. Now let us check our file 2. You can see we have the same content in there. So that is how to read that.
like managing file permission is crucial in Linux. With chmod, you can modify permission easily. you can run the following commands. The first command to grant read, write, and execute permission to owner. Then the second one you can use to set read or write for owner, read only for others. You can see as shown on the screen. You can see the example there, and we have the recursive set permission. We can also make a file executable. You can copy permission from the first file to second file. So it's just that easy with chmod. So command is Linux answer to task manager. It display read time, system starts, and running processes. So if we want to show read time, system starts, as you can see on the screen. So
to do that, we can run the following command for an overview. You can see the overview of how our system is performing.
if you want to filter by a specific user,
So use the following command to filter processes by user. So top, we have the following users. You can see we are filtering the processes by a specific user. We want to run a specific ID. You can use the following command: top PID. Then let's use this process ID as example. Successfully run the PID process ID for terminal. If you want to update every 5 seconds, you can run the following command: top S5. And likewise, if you want to show 10 iterations and exit, you can do that by running the following command.
Here's a common tips and trick. You can use ls and cd to list and enter directory efficiently. As shown on the screen, you can see it's being run and tested. For efficient file management, you can pair cp and mv to back up and organize files in one step, moving with rm. So, and for quick directory setup like we did earlier, you can create and move into a directory using mkdir and cd. So for permission management, you can confirm location using a pwd and apply changes with a chmod as we did earlier. So you can preview files with ls like I said earlier before removing. For system monitoring, like which we did, you can view logs using the CAT, using the CAT while tracking system performance with top. So you have it. The top 10 Linux commands every Windows admin should know. Mastering these commands bridges the gap between platforms, boosts your productivity, and opens doors to exciting career opportunities. If you found this video helpful, give a thumbs up, subscribe for more tech tutorials, and comment below on which command you are excited to try. See you in the next video.